Hello everyone. So I figured I'll do another update on Belgorod and Kursk. Now, there isn't much confirmed movements, no new settlements have been liberated and that sort of thing yet. But we do have some new interesting videos. First, here, we have Russia dropping FAB bombs on Kozinka to try and dislodge the Freedom for Russia Legion forces, which are located here. I don't think anyone would have guessed at the start of a 3-day military operation that it would eventually lead to Russia dropping bombs on other Russians in Russia. But here we are. Oddly enough, it isn't the first time it's happened. Remember, Russia dropped bombs on the Wagner convoy back when Prigozhin had his chance to topple Putin and bottled it and instead ended up toppling out of a plane. So it's weird that this isn't the second time we've seen Russia dropping bombs on its own towns and settlements. Something interesting about this video showing the FAB bomb strike on Kozinka is that the FAB bomb, you can see, actually misses the target. You can see the crater near the building being targeted, and the building being targeted looks pretty much unscathed, some minor damage, but the bomb itself actually missed. So, good job Russia. They can't even bomb Russia correctly. It's unknown as well if the Freedom for Russia Legion troops were actually in this building being targeted here, or if Russia's merely just clearing the buildings to prevent Freedom for Russia Legion forces from using them and hiding in them and that sort of thing. This was here, the marker showing the building that was destroyed. So once again, this is in the same part of Kozinka as before. This is where we saw a tank get ambushed in yesterday's video, and a tank clearing buildings in the video before that. So it seems the incursion into Kozinka, for now at least, is limited to this one part of the town. However, the effects of it are spread wider. We saw a video yesterday or the day before of a car driving through Kozinka, showing that the town is an absolute wreck now. Not just a part of the town where the Freedom for Russia Legion are operating, but so far we've only seen videos of the Freedom for Russia Legion operating in this section of Kozinka. But it's quite interesting that despite Russia claiming to have repelled the incursions on the day they occurred, we now see Russia dropping FAB bombs on one of those towns where the incursion occurred. It's almost as if those initial claims of Russia were absolute twaddle. It's also interesting to see that these initial attempts at clearing these buildings using tanks failed. Clearly, since Russia has now resorted to dropping bombs from aircraft on the positions instead. And I don't think they would do that if the tanks had succeeded. So the tanks and troops failed to dislodge the Freedom for Russia Legion forces here, so Russia now resorting to dropping FAB bombs on their positions instead. Today, Russia is claiming that all Freedom for Russia Legion troops have left Kozinka now, but I expect that will not be the case. We'll likely see more videos of them tomorrow dropping bombs on the town, or using tanks to try and clear the positions in the town. Not to mention, even if Kozinka is cleared, Freedom for Russia Legion troops and others have incurred in different parts of Belgorod and also Kursk. We'll have a look at the map at the end of this video to see where exactly they have crossed the border. Now, let's go to our next video, which is a compilation of FPV drone strikes all in one settlement in Belgorod targeting Russian positions and Russian vehicles. The footage isn't the clearest, but we do show a number of Russian positions and vehicles being targeted and hit. This includes a couple of buildings, one of which is said to be a control point, a BMP, a few trucks, and at the very end of the clip, a D-20 howitzer of Russia's. So, a good compilation of different strikes here. No date was given. Now, whether these were all hit on the same day, or it's a compilation of strikes occurring over a period of days since the incursion into Belgrade began, I don't know. Now, I don't have a geolocation for all of them, but I do have it for some. So, let's take a look and see where these took place. So, the first one was here, hitting a building on the border checkpoint near a settlement called Nekotivka. This is an area that's been breached by anti-Putin Russian forces. No date was given. If recent, then it seems the crossing here is heavily contested still, with Russia still largely controlling the border point. The next one is the same settlement, this one hitting a camera complex which is used to monitor the border, which was mounted on a communications tower. I had no location given for this one. It was an FPV drone strike on a parked up BMP somewhere in Belgorod region, near the same settlement. The next vehicle, though, I do have a location for. This is a supply vehicle which was parked further up the road from the checkpoint. So, I guess Russian forces have been using this area here as a resupply point to avoid the trucks from getting too close to the border crossing where they'd be vulnerable. This one, though, as you can see, was hit anyway. Depending on the date, it could also be that this area here is where the Russian forces have been pushed back to, with this carrying out close resupply defending Russian forces in this tree line. But as no date was given, we can't say for sure. This one was in the border crossing area again. This building is described as being the control point. Another geolocated target is here. This one was hitting a small utility vehicle parked up. Given the vehicle's presence, I wonder if this entire small complex of buildings is now in use by the Russian military. Zoomed out, you can see again that this is further along that same road. Now, this next one, I don't have an exact location, but it's somewhere along the road highlighted in red. This is the only road that matches. This one you can see the truck has had its engine compartment opened, so it had broken down and suffered engine difficulties before the drone came along to target it. Here, the clip was too small to give an exact location, but we could see it moving down a major double road with trees either side. So, it was somewhere along this road leading to and from the border crossing, but I can't say exactly where. Finally, no location was given for this one, but it showed a D-20 howitzer getting hit. No spotter drone recorded the impact, so I can't say if this was destroyed or just damaged. Here is the crossing points shown in these videos. So not as major, or rather, not as much progress has been made as other areas where we've seen. But as we saw in this video, the forces entering Russia have carried out some good strikes on Russian targets. Notably, the utility and supply vehicles were getting hit. It's all chipping away at the Russian forces. Remember, every Russian vehicle and every load of ammunition being carried by them, which has to be committed here, is stuff not going to end up in Ukraine on the front lines. Here it is zoomed out so you can see it in relation to other crossing points. This one is highlighted in red, while the other ones are in blue. So you can see that Deep State is showing this one as much smaller in comparison to the others. But still, Russia is incurring losses here. A BMP and a bunch of trucks and supply vehicles were hit during this video. Finally, highlighted in red here now is Kozinka, where the first video we saw of a FAB bomb hitting the town took place. Remember, Russia claims to have dislodged the Freedom for Russia Legion troops who incurred here. Whether that's true or not, waits to be seen. But even if true, there are 3 other settlements, or rather 3 other crossing points, where there is a presence, so this is far from over yet. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now before we finish, a quick mention about the ongoing fundraiser with Rebirth Energy. This is to buy a buggy for Ukraine's armed forces. The donation links are in the description. Thanks very much and take care everybody.